All right, so I just saw Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, for the third time today. Really the second, because the second time I saw it, I was like super tired and I slept through like parts of the movie. I'm gonna keep this brief though and not talk about spoilers. I don't think, because I can go 15 minutes without spoilers. If I do, I'll say something. I was excited for this, especially since Rian Johnson, the director, did Looper, and I'm a big fan of Looper. This movie's faced a lot of controversy. I remember when I first walked out of it, I just felt overwhelmed. This is a long movie. This is a 2.5 hour long movie, and it's got a lot in it. And unlike The Force Awakens, this movie takes a lot of big swings. Like, Force Awakens, is a very safe movie. And if you don't like it, it's not because it's bad, it's just because it's too vanilla. But this, it's trying too much to just be, oh wow, there's a little rodent. What's that called? A possum. But yeah, it's trying too much to be like the original trilogy. So, I think that's the problem, is that Rian Johnson had to make a movie that wasn't like Episode 7, because, Episode 7 was too much like the original trilogy. And then the prequel, you can't make a movie like the prequels, you can't make a movie too different, or else they're going to hate it. So you have an impossible task, to go and make, the perfect movie. And I think he did a pretty good job. I like this movie a lot. I remember when I first watched it, I have problems. I have a lot of problems with the movie. The first time I liked it, and I liked it a lot. But this time I loved it. It is such a fun movie. It's great. It's so much. It's got so much Star Wars stuff in it, which is so stupid. But it feels more like a Star Wars movie than Episode 7 did, really. It was great. And so much was going on. You have Rey's storyline with Luke, Kylo Ren's storyline with, just in general, the Poe storyline, Finn storyline, and I think that's it. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, and I think Poe is great. I love Poe in this movie, where I like him as a character, but I hate everything that they did with him. And, well, I don't hate it, I just don't like it. He was a good pilot and he was sassy. He didn't do much besides, he's a great pilot. And in this one, he's got a lot more purpose. And, I feel like he, really is, behind the themes of this movie. That was weird. I got a phone call, halfway through, this thing. And I didn't know, that's never happened to me. I'm never making a review and I got a phone call. But yeah, let me go back to Star Wars. So Poe, probably the best part about this movie was Poe. I loved him. Rey was exactly, her storyline was exactly what we've seen before. Her training, just like Luke in Episode 5, and then, her going to the Emperor or Snoke, just like in Episode 6. That's all good and fine. I don't really care about Rey in general, so that's all right. She didn't do anything interesting to me. I was expecting a big twist with her character. Kylo Ren is the best, and I love him as usual. Finn, that's where a lot of people don't like it. They don't like Finn in his storyline with this new character, Rose. Rose's sister, I loved. Her whole little sequence at the beginning is great. And I think that's classic Star Wars. But Rose is just the worst. I hate Rose all the time. I don't think there's one thing that she did that I like, besides after when she stuns him, how she looks kind of badass when she puts a thing in her pocket. But other than that, I hate her. But I love Finn. I love Finn in this movie so much. And I didn't really like him that much in the previous one. So it's nice that I love Finn now. It was again, it was really funny, just like The Force Awakens. I think The Force Awakens was funnier. There was a lot much better space action in this one than there was in the previous one. But lightsaber fight wise, we got a lot better stuff in this episode 7. Like, there's one awesome lightsaber fight, and then that's it. That's really it. Fulfillment wise, like with the stuff that episode 7 set up, that really just shit on everything that episode 7 set up. It was like, this thing's stupid, this thing doesn't exist, and, you know, like, I'm like, oh, which that's fine, because I didn't like a lot of the mysteries they set up. I didn't understand them. This guy in front of me is going really slow, and it's bothering me. I don't know what else to say without giving up spoilers. But, oh yeah, Luke. Let's talk about Luke and Leia. I didn't talk about either of them. Luke's great. Oh, Mark Hamill's amazing. I don't know, Mark Hamill had a lot of disagreements with what they did with Luke's character. I thought it was fine. Like, I got it. You know, it makes sense, and, you know, I like how they concluded that storyline. I thought it was good. But Leia is where I have an issue with. So Carrie Fisher passes away in real life, and so you'd think that in this movie they'd wrap up her character's storyline, so they don't have to Paul Walker Fast and Furious 7 it in episode 9. But they don't. They don't. They just, you know, she's still alive and kicking at the end of this movie. And that was so weird to me, because there's several opportunities where you could have sent her off, and that'd have been nice. Like, there was a perfect moment to do it, and it made me so angry that they didn't. Another thing about this movie, it's weird. This is a weird movie. There's so many scenes that I would just call weird. Like, oh my gosh, this guy's stupid. He's in the straight lane and he's trying to go right, and you're an idiot, and I hope you die. But yeah, it's just, the snapping is weird. The one bridge explosion scene with Leia is weird. It's just odd. I don't know what else to say without really spoiling it. But yeah, I just didn't agree with what they did with Leia's character. What's her name? Laura Dern from Jurassic Park is in this movie, and she has purple hair, and she's the worst. Well, she's okay. I don't know. I was okay with her, though. What they did with her character was really cool at the end. Shoot, I really don't know what to say. Oh, C-3PO, more of him, which is good. They definitely used more of him, and it made me so mad that they don't constantly use C-3PO. Like, he is so funny, and he is the powerhouse of the, like, original trilogy. Like, he's so funny and adds so much stakes. Because while your heroes are, like, confident, like, C-3PO is just sitting there like, oh my gosh, this is terrifying. And, like, and he's so funny. And they used him a little bit more. R2-D2 is one scene that made me cry. But other than that, he does nothing in the movie, which bothers me. And then Chewbacca does one cool thing, two funny things, and then he's gone. You know, why? Why do we have to waste these characters? They're such great characters, you know? Let me see how much time I have left, because I don't want to say anything spoiler-wise. Just overall, I think it was better than Episode 7. I am okay. I don't know where they're going to go from this, though. Like, the way they end this movie, it's like, well, nothing's going to happen for another 30 years with how they left it off. And, you know, the Resistance is screwed. So, like, what are we going to do? It was a little bit more hopeful than I wanted. I wanted it to be like Episode 5, where it was like, haha, death! Everything sucks! But, like, it kind of wasn't. It was a little bit more, it was more hopeful than that. Star Wars poetry is an effect. Adam, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm going to go 5 out of 5 because I'm a Star Wars bitch boy and I love Star Wars and I'm going to suck everything Star Wars up and love it. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's probably not going to be my favorite movie of the year, just like in 2015 when I did have it. Because, there's movies I like more. But it's fan fiction. What we're watching is fan fiction. George Lucas had nothing to do with it. George Lucas is Star Wars, so this is fan fiction, and it's fine. So it's fine. So don't get mad about everything so much because it's not. It doesn't count. None of it counts. But it's a nice little fun. Oh, what if and that's nice. So every time you get mad about it, just think about that. 5 out of 5. Great movie. If it wasn't a Star Wars movie, it's a fantastic movie. It's just a great film in general. Star Wars goes, I would put it 5th. I'd put it I have 5, 4, 6, 3, and then 8. But that's not bad. I don't really like the other ones. I like the other ones. It's better than 7, and it's better than Rogue One. Apparently everyone loves Rogue One. What the heck? I thought it was okay. But yeah, so can't wait for 9. And I want them to use more of my old characters. But, what are you going to do? I love Star Wars. And it hurts so much not to talk about spoilers. But if I talked about spoilers in this video, it would literally be an hour long. I did a non-spoiler review to Rachel the night after I saw it. And literally that conversation lasted an hour and a half. So, yeah, I definitely like it more the second time. Give it a multiple try. Star Wars fans, come on. Oh, I love 1 second. I want to talk about this tweet that I saw where Star Wars fans are trying to petition to make Episode 8 not a part of Star Wars canon. And it's funny because Star Wars fans should know that if you strike something down in anger, it'll become more powerful than you would ever imagine. And I love that so much. That's so funny and so true. If you hate this movie, just ignore it, right? But if you shit on it and ruin it and take it away, then it's gonna live in infamy and you're never gonna forget it. But so just let it go if you don't like it. But if I like it, let me like it. My brother who won't let me like the movie. Adam, when are you gonna give up the charade that Episode 8's good? 'Cause it is, Alex. Shut up. Every year we have huge arguments about Star Wars. Quick spoiler, Rey's parents are nobody. I was right. Everyone else is wrong. And I'm the smartest person in the world, and I love Star Wars more than anybody else. And I love you, Adam, and keep loving Star Wars. Bye.